Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is June the 9th. This show will be for June the 10th. The ChrisBeCappinn WNBA night show. One game on the board for today that hasn't started yet. I did end up playing it. I talked about it yesterday. I ended up making two half-unit plays, because I'm really cold in the WNBA right now. Don't have a recap for yesterday that I haven't shared already. Down about a unit, a little over a unit, closer to 2 units down about 2 units in the WNBA right now. So I said this yesterday, I need to get back on track. Hopefully the 2 plays that I have for today are winners, man. So we won't talk about that game though, because that game will start in about 20 minutes. Want to kind of get through this show so I can talk about that game. But as always, appreciate people for joining in, and being part of the stream as always. So let's jump into it, man. Let's just jump into it. Jason says Valkyries +7. I actually bet, Jason. I bet the Golden State, the LA Sparks team total under. I bet first half under, and I bet full game under. 41.5 was on DraftKings, and I bet full game under 85.5 as well on Caesars. I got both of those as -110 odds. Just looking at the Valkyries defense, I don't really want to trust their offense, but I do think that they are going to be able to hold down the Sparks offense. Sparks offense has struggled to score in both of those games. Both games actually have gone under, so that's what I bet. What's up, Jelly? Says hope y'all hope you're having a good day, my boy. Appreciate that, man. Jay says the heat are coming for you, my guy. Stay at it. Yeah, it'll come, Jay. I needed to come, and I need to come quick for sure. But yeah, the heater will come. It'll definitely be here soon. WNBA has just been wild. It's been wild to me for sure. So let's jump into Jackson. A couple prompts for Jackson for today. First thing I wanted to talk about was the best player prop on the board for today. I gave me an over on Sabrina Ionescu over her 3.5 assists, but the odds were like -215, which is crazy. So we won't talk about that. The second one is Natasha Howard over her 5.5 boards, -135 on ESPN Bet. So this will probably be 6.5 tomorrow. It says she's been a dominant force on the boards, hit the over 70% of her games in the last 10, 65% of her last 20 games. And against Atlanta, she has 100% hit rate in the 2 matchups this season, averaging 8 rebounds per game. The Dreams front court, while talented, shows vulnerabilities in rebounding, which Howard can exploit. Her consistent rebounding performance makes this a strong play. So play Natasha Howard over her 5.5 boards for tomorrow. I couldn't talk anybody off of that. I think that's a pretty strong look. As far as the second prompt, I wanted to give you guys 2 bets. I asked what's the best spread bet in the WNBA for June 10th. And Jackson tells me to take the Atlanta Dream tomorrow -4.5. It says that Atlanta Dream are favored by 4.5, and this line offers strong value. Atlanta has the best ATS against the spread record in the WNBA at 5-3, and is covered in 4 of their last 5 games. Don't know if they got the best ATS record. They're also second in the league in points per game at 84.6 and third in offensive rating at 107. The Dreams backcourt duo of Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray have been exceptional, with Howard averaging career high 5.1 assists per game, and Gray leading the team in scoring with efficient 3-point shooting. Additionally, Atlanta leads the league in rebounds per game at 37.6, which should give them a slight advantage over Indiana. On the other hand, the Fever will be without their star Caitlin Clark, who remains sidelined with the quad injury. Without Clark, Indiana has gone 2-2 against the spread in their last 4 games, but have not faced a team with a winning record during that stretch. Atlanta's balanced attack and strong home performance make them a solid pick to cover the 4.5-point spread. So we'll talk about the spread a little bit more, but I think that is pretty sound analysis from Jackson there. Liking the Atlanta Dream tomorrow. I like the point made about the Indiana Fever and who they've played recently, and we'll talk about it in just a second. But yeah, should be a nice little bounce back spot. Let's jump into it. If you're interested in checking out Jackson, use the referral code ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's, 2 N's, and it'll save you 50% off of whatever tier it is that you decide to sign up for. But you can use it for MLB, stolen base props, pitcher strikeout props, home run props. It just can save you a bunch of time when you're handicapping. And for people who've been around for a while, you guys already know. All right, so let's jump into the matchup. I'm trying to make it a quick show because I do want to watch this Valkyries and Sparks game. So we got the Fever and the Dream tomorrow. Jackson kind of talked about this one a little bit already, but we go through the injury report first and foremost. Jackson mentioned that Caitlin Clark is going to be out. Sophie Cunningham has already been ruled out as well. And then on the Atlanta side, Nas Hillman is listed as questionable. She does play a big role for this Atlanta team. And then Shatoria Walker-Kimbrough is also listed as probable. It does look like she's going to be in there. So we'll see how that goes for Atlanta. You are looking at an Indiana Fever team that could be in a bit of a letdown spot. They absolutely smoked the Chicago Sky in that game on Saturday, beat them by 27 points. They got a big game coming up next against the New York Liberty as well. And that game is a revenge spot after the New York Liberty beat them by, I think, less than 2 possessions, I think it was, in that last game. I know they didn't cover the 5 or whatever it is they ended up with laying. And then on the opposite side, you got Atlanta that isn't a revenge spot. This will be the 3rd game that these teams have played. The Atlanta Dream actually won the first game in Indiana with Caitlin Clark, surprisingly. And then the second game was a back-to-back. Indiana came into Atlanta and won that game. They ended up covering, I think it was like a 5-point spread, but they ended up covering late, just because of they needed a lot of things to go right. But anyway, they did win and cover. So both teams are 1-1 straight up and against the spread in this game. But Atlanta did lose the most recent one, right? Lost 81-76. And the last time that these two teams played, that game was played in Atlanta. So not only is Atlanta in a revenge spot, but they're also in a nice little bounce back spot after losing. They were laying 10.5 points against the Connecticut Sun on Sunday. I think it was on Sunday. No, not Sunday. On Saturday, I think it was. And end up losing that game by 8 points, 84-76, as a 10.5 point favorite. Connecticut, giving Connecticut only their second win. It's interesting to note that Connecticut has 2 wins on the season, and these are the 2 teams that they beat. They beat the Indiana Fever, who are playing really good basketball right now. Granted, we can question the schedule, and the Atlanta Dream, who are also playing excellent basketball. So looking at this Indiana Fever team, and just let the cat out the bag, I did bet Atlanta. I got Atlanta before this line move. We took money line -130, -130, -135. That line, of course, now is absolutely gone. So I'm not even going to talk about that. I do think that they are the right side. When you look at Atlanta, when you look at this Indiana Fever team, they are 3rd best defensive rated team on the season. Number 1 actually in defense on the road as well. Atlanta, surprisingly, is actually 2nd in defensive rating at the crib this season. Top 5 in assist to turnover ratio. They're top 5 in turnovers forced as well. I do think that the way that Indiana has been able to score the basketball more recently, I just don't think it's going to be there. I think the Indiana Fever get a bad taste out of their mouth, and they take care of the Indiana Fever in this spot. I would only be looking towards the Dream. I think they can get the job done. Like I said, I got the money line, so I'm not betting the 4.5. The other things I want to mention real quick, just kind of going back to what Jackson was saying, the Indiana Fever have been hooping, right? They coming off back-to-back wins. They beat the Chicago Sky, who get well soon. Courtney Vandersloot beat them by 27 in that game most recently. Before that, they beat the Washington Mystics, and then the 2 games before the Chicago Sky and the Washington Mystics came against the Connecticut Sun and the Washington Mystics. So this team has not played against a really good competitive team in quite a while. Chicago, Washington, Connecticut, Washington. I think Atlanta gets the job done here. What you don't like for Atlanta is this will be their first game back home after a 3-game road trip. That can be a little bit of a flat spot, but like I said, with revenge against and losing to Connecticut the way that they did after they had won 4 straight and covered 4 straight, I think Atlanta gets back on track in this game. So I do like Atlanta. As far as the total goes, I do think it's a little bit more of an under game. This opened like 166.5. It's down to 164.5. I agree with the money coming in on the under. And like I just mentioned, both of these teams are sound defensively. 2 really, really good defensive teams. So I'm expecting some defense to be played. I do think that Atlanta's offense is going to be able to slow down Indiana's offense without Caitlin Clark. I would probably look towards an Aaliyah Boston under in some form or fashion. Her game hasn't necessarily been the greatest without Caitlin Clark there to, facilitate and put her in her spots so that she can play, so she can make plays. So that's why I would probably look towards a player prop, but I didn't really go through these player props in this game. Just giving you guys my recommendation, under 164.5 if I was betting it. And then I would also be looking at, still be looking at the Dream. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one, man. What's up, Meech? Says, you're finally made it to a night show. Appreciate that. Jason says Lisa Gray is probably my favorite WNBA player. She does it all. She's just a fact. She can knock down the shot. She plays a little bit of point guard as well. and she can definitely facilitate for sure. Dre says Fever saving Caitlin Clark for the Liberty game this weekend ratings. That could be it. That absolutely could be it. I also think they just want to be super cautious with her too. I think they want to be super cautious with her. We'll see how it goes. Dre also says, please hit the like button, y'all. It definitely helps the algorithm if you guys can hit the like button. It's appreciated. Appreciate you for shouting that out, Dre. What up, Fahrenheit? Says Chris. Nice show. Sun still up in Arizona. All the way out in Arizona, man. Sun been down in Virginia, but yeah. James says Canada better come to play. Yeah, Jordan Canada, second game back now. That should help the offense, I think, in my opinion, a little bit as well. I think she started against the they threw it right back in the starting lineup. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think it's could be a big game for Fahrenheit. Likes Brittany Griner, 15 points, -115 on Bet365. Says she's over in every game. She has taken 10 shots. She averages a little under 11 field goal attempts per game. So good luck on Brittany Griner there, thinking she could score against this Indiana front line. James says got on that under 85.5 with you for tonight game. Let's get it. Yeah, I need a winner tonight, James. Let's go Valkyries defense, man. Hopefully they don't run out of gas late. We'll see how it goes. Me says dream bounce back spot, waiting on the Fever team total to pop up. Team total under. It should be, let's see. 79.5 right now on Fanatics. Juice to the over at -125, and Hard Rock got it at 79.5 at plus 100 right now. Those are the two lines offered in Virginia right now. What up? Malik says yes, sir. What's up, my guy? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we just kicking it, Malik. You know how I go, man. Canada went 0 for 7 in that last game, and it makes sense, right? Like it's her first game back since she got hurt against the Washington Mystics, I think it was, in the preseason. That felt like it was like 4 weeks ago. Natalie says dream all day -4.5, waiting on this Valkyries. Waiting on the Valkyries. Yeah, let's get it to the Valkyries. As a matter of fact, the game about to start. So let's go do this next one real quick so we can jump off of here. I want to watch. I'm interested in watching this game tonight. All right, so let's go to the next one. Sky and the Liberty. Ugly, gross game here. Liberty are now up to 17 point favorites. This line open, I want to say I saw 14 and a half. I saw first half of like -5.5 as well. I'm sorry, it's first half of like -8.5. And no, both of those numbers are now gone. For Chicago, they will be without Courtney Vandersloot for who tore ACL. She's done for the season. Mariah Jefferson has also been ruled out. She hasn't played a game for Chicago in quite a while. And then on the Liberty side of things, Nair Sabli is off the injury report. She's finally probably going to play basketball. Probably super excited to get out there. But Jacko Jones is on the injury report. Remember, she ended up getting hurt in that game in their last game, which was the second leg of a back-to-back when they were playing against the Washington Mystics just a couple of days ago. So Washington, the Liberty could be a bit shorthanded. I was going through and I was looking at the numbers, right? I want to share these with you guys real quick. I was going through and I was looking at the numbers. So this season with Jacko Jones on the floor, the New York Liberty have a 117 offensive rating and an 83 defensive rating. They're plus 34 with Jacko Jones on the floor. That's kind of insane. With Jacko Jones off the floor, they have an offensive rating of 108. So their offense gets worse. And they got a defensive rating of 96. So defense is still good, but it's nowhere near as good with Jacko Jones on the floor. That equates to a plus 12.5 in net rating. So a 34.15 with Jacko on and a plus 12.5 with Jacko off. Now, we're talking about the Chicago Sky's offense. I mean, this is a team that's coming off a 27-point home beatdown to the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark on Saturday. And they had won 2 games straight, right? So you're thinking, okay, they figured it out. I was kind of thinking that, if I'm being honest with you guys. But then you got to look at who they were playing against. Yeah, it was a 2-game winning streak, but they beat Dallas 2 times in a row. Everybody's beaten Dallas 10 times in a row. And those are the only 2 wins that they have on the whole season. Now you're in New York. There's no Courtney Vandersloot. I just have a hard time seeing how Chicago is going to be able to score the basketball, even without Jacko Jones in the game. This New York team is one of 2 only undefeated teams, of course, left in the WNBA. They're 8-0 right now. They got a 2-day rest advantage in this spot. New York is 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread at the crib this season. They're plus 16 in the first half of those 4 games. And they've won 3 of the 4 by 14 points or more. the two that they won by more than 14 were 20 plus. So I mean, it's a clear spot for the Liberty. The only way I would be able to look is towards them. The Sky team got a lot to figure out. I think it's going to be really difficult to figure it out without without Courtney Vandersloot out there. They look like a turtle that lost a shell without Courtney Vandersloot, but she went down the other day. 52 points is crazy. So the way I'm looking, the other thing I think I want to mention real quick before I share a trend that I found with you guys is this New York team has actually beat Chicago four straight times. They've covered all 4 straight spreads. Once was earlier this season. They were laying 11.5 points on the road, and I was like, man, that's a big number. And they ended up winning the game by 25. They just smoked them. So the way I'm looking in this game is either towards an under or just look towards the Liberty in the first half. I think both of those are ways that you could potentially get paid here. This trend here shows teams that previously won on the road. They previously won by 15 points or more on the road. And now they're favored again, and they're favored by 15 points or more. Again, regular season game, and it's in the same season, right? You can see that this trend doesn't happen often. 21-2 straight up, 15-8 to the under. The Liberty team total is like 92.5. Do they really need to score 93 points? I don't think so. Can they get there? Yes. But if Jacko Jones isn't going to play, I think that the Liberty offense can still slow down the Chicago Sky's defense. This Liberty's defense can still slow down the Chicago Sky's offense. I would only be playing towards the Liberty first half or either a full game under. 167.5, I think, could be a tad bit too many points. Liberty first half is -9.5. The other thing I wanted to mention really, really quickly is if we go over to Outlier just really quickly, looking at a player prop, this one just kind of makes a lot of sense to me. And I'm not going to play on Stewie if Jacko Jones is going to be in. But if Jacko Jones is not going to be in, then Breanna Stewart rebounds make a lot of sense, right? We got to think back. She ended up playing big minutes in this game against the Mystics because, they end up, winning this game but not covering, right? And then, of course, Jacko Jones only plays, I think it was like 5 minutes in this game, maybe even less than 5 minutes. So Stewie has to go out there and, be a good rebounder, which she is. So I couldn't talk anybody off Stewie rebounds at 6.5. I know she struggled in these games here, but most of these games are blowouts. I mean, they beat Connecticut by 48 in this game. They beat the Washington Mystics by 22 in this game. So she didn't need to rebound the ball as much. And that's not to say that they can't do that against Chicago either. You can see the game against Chicago. She only had 2 boards here. They also won this game by 25. But if Jacko Jones isn't playing, I do think that Stewie rebounds is a pretty good look. Outside of Stewie, I probably would be looking at Sabrina Ionescu. I do think that Sabrina rebounds and assists. She's also a pretty good underrated rebounder. She could definitely go up and over her rebounds and assists. This is just her assist line. You can see here, up and over 4.5, which is -102 right now. In 3 straight games, 4 of her last 5 games against Chicago earlier. She landed on 5 assists as well. So couldn't talk anybody off Sabrina assists. You can see here, Chicago gives up the 3rd most assists in the WNBA so far. I wanted to check her rebounds and assists though, because she's an excellent rebounder as well. So yeah, you can see she's over in 7 of her last 10 games, but these games go back to last season. So it looks like she's over in 6 of her last 9. Went under in this game. She's gonna go under in the blowouts, but if the games aren't blowouts, 8.5 feels very, very obtainable, especially if Jacko Jones doesn't play. So these are the ways that I'm thinking about the game. Like I said, super quick show for today. I'll go through the comments real quick, get into a quick recap, and then like I said, I'm going to watch this Valkyries game and root for that Valkyries defense. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one. Playback, it's difficult, Malik. My son be killing my time, man. He got soccer camps in the morning, which is why I'm doing evening shows. Like, he just got me everywhere, man. But maybe this weekend. Maybe we'll do one this weekend. He do got a birthday party that he's been invited to this weekend. One of his soccer teammates. So maybe a Sunday, I think. I was thinking about going to DC on Sunday though, because the Mystics do play against the Dream on Sunday. Tickets like pretty cheap, like super cheap, honestly. So I don't know, but it'll probably be a weekend, Malik. My son just be killing my time, man. He be killing my time. So not gonna make any promises, but it'll be soon. It'll be soon, man. JFX says when the bookie's gonna start putting the Angel Reese me Bell's prop out. Angel Reese, man. I thought that it was kind of fool's gold, but I guess it's not, man. Nally says they pricing the Liberty like the Thunder. They got to. I mean, they playing like the Thunder right now. That's a fact. Jay says Kiki is who Angel Reese supposed to be 3.0. Hey, Kiki, nice, man. I love Kiki. Kiki is nice, man. Jason says Kiki has great post moves and a nice face up mid range jumper. She does. And in the game against Breanna Stewart in the New York Liberty last week, they were asking, Stewie about Kiki, and she was like, man, the thing that like sparks me the most about Kiki is like she takes her time. She's not rattled. Like most of the time when you come in as a rookie, you play so fast, right? And it leads to turnovers, or you just moving so fast that you make the wrong move and you end up missing an easy shot or something like that. It's like, man, she just plays so under control. Like it's crazy, and you can't teach that. So yeah, shout out to Kiki, man. Shout out to Kiki. Jason says she put Breanna Stewart in the spin cycle a few times. That's a fact. She absolutely did. Dre says Reese don't need to get no office. Don't need that office together. She'll be in China if she don't get it together. Oh man, I think she'll still be there, but man, it's bad out here, man. Malik says Sky Games was sold out against the Fever. Definitely true. It's all bad, man. It's all bad. Dusty says, "What's up, Chris? When you gonna be on Cal's show again?" Cal was supposed to send me the link, man. Y'all got to get on Cal, man. He was supposed to send me the link. I told him I would do WNBA. I could do the night shows after I put my son to bed. But I don't know if he want WNBA on the stream. So I don't know. You gotta talk to Cal, man. He was supposed to put me on. We were supposed to keep rocking out the WNBA shows in the evening. At night, even though he's not doing evening shows. But not sure when I'm gonna be back on Cal's show. Whenever he wants me to come back on, I'll be on though. Definitely be on to talk some WNBA. GLB says, "What's up, Chris? Appreciate the night videos. Appreciate you, GLB. Hope all is going well with you as well, my brother." Kiki is definitely, I think, in the driver's seat for Rookie of the Year right now. She is impacting the game, and I didn't think I saw this coming. So real quick, last thing I'll say before we jump into the recap, because I was thinking about this the other day, right? I'm watching the Mystics play against the Connecticut Sun yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself, right, like, all right, so the Mystics they came into the season with a lot of depth at the power forward and center position, right? I mean, you have Big Mama Steph Dolson to stretch the floor. She's a pretty good defender, but she's out there to stretch the floor. She can knock down shots, right? So nice, versatile big that is different from Shakira Austin is really good, right? But Shakira Austin just continues to get hurt time after time, year after year. So I'm thinking, okay, they're solid. And then if you had a chance to watch Unravel in the offseason, you had a chance to watch what Aaliyah Edwards was doing, and Aaliyah Edwards was hooping. So I'm thinking to myself coming into the season, like, oh, they gonna be, their front court gonna be nice if Shakira Austin can stay healthy and Aaliyah Edwards can stay healthy. Like, they're nice. Now, watching Kiki after the first few games, I'm like, oh, this not a fluke. Kiki is really good. Then I start to think to myself, they're going to have to get rid of somebody. Like, they're not going to be able to keep all these bigs. You're not going to be able to have Kiki and Shakira Austin and Aaliyah Edwards and Big Mama. Like, Big Mama Steph can stay because she doesn't, warrant the ball as much. But, I mean, Kiki coming in, she taking Aaliyah Edwards minutes. Shakira Austin coming off the bench. It's kind of crazy. The impact that Kiki Irfin is having, and she's hooping, man. I gotta go check her out. Yeah, appreciate you, JFX. I'm about to get off of here and go check that out. Let's see what else y'all saying. Dre said player unders. Did you notice that they play Dalston with Kiki and then Edwards? Yeah, I saw that. Yep, he rotates. Forgot what their coach name is, but he rotates. They come out and in like twice in the same quarter. It's pretty interesting the way that he rotates. You can't even really get into a rhythm. Like every 4 minutes he makes a sub. But yeah, that's it. That's it, man. Like I said, just a quick recap. I did bet the plays that I make a green. Of course, I'm not gonna put a money line on here that I got at minus 135, but that's what I got Atlanta at. I do like Atlanta. I do think the game goes under tomorrow. Chicago, New York. I like the under if I I'll see where the line goes if Jacko Jones plays. But if Jacko Jones doesn't play, I think that the game, I would like Jacko Jones in actually to get the under. But we'll see. We'll see if she actually plays or not. And if the Liberty, if Jacko Jones does play, Liberty first quarter team total over. It's been like 23.5. People have been cashing on that. I do think that they can score against the Chicago team. And I expect them to dominate the first half. Like I said, they're plus 16 in the first half. You can get a minus 9.5 right now. Breanna Stewart over her 6.5 boards if Jacko Jones doesn't play. You can also add Sabrina Ionescu over her 8.5 rebounds and assists, in my opinion, if Jacko Jones doesn't play, because that'll be more rebound opportunities for both of those young ladies. So that's what I'm looking at for tomorrow, man. As always, the sign-up link is in the description of the video. Also, the resources that I use to handicap are in the video. Remember, I told you guys Jackson likes Atlanta minus the 4.5 and Natasha Howard over her 5.5 boards for tomorrow's were the two looks for Jackson. Best of luck on your action, man. Your MLB action, whatever it is that you're betting. Do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out, man. Drop the show link in the group chat, all that good stuff. Best of luck on your action, man. I will catch you guys tomorrow night again. We got 3 games on Wednesday, so we'll jump into those games tomorrow. Enjoy your night, man. I'm out.